You're on. Whoa!
Ring, ring, ring. Hello, sirs and sirs, and welcome back to Krown's Magical
Show your face.
V-neck Cave.
Cancel Elsa. She's doing blackface right now. It's terrible. She's literally Hitler. Get her out. Out. Terrible. Oh my fucking lord, baby. Welcome back to Krown's Cave. It's a lovely Thursday over here in, I don't know, where are we right now? We're in Helsinki, Finland, but this is cryptocurrency land. And it's a crazy place right now. And holy shit, we got a new sheriff in town. No longer it is Scott Barney. It is now Mr. Abbott going for the inverted ALYI chart, which we'll look at soon enough. And Mr. Josh is back as well. Good to see you, my friend. And really happy to hear that, man. I'm very glad that it's been treating you well because it has been also treating me well as well. And that is what I'm very happy for. So with that said, let's now focus on the Krown application, which we found at app.krown.net. There is plenty to discuss today. And if I do recall, someone had a $1,000 Ethereum prediction that was by end of this week. This week, that means this week, this right here, right now. It should be happening at any moment now, right? Right? Maybe not. Anyways, with that said, into the Krown chain application we go, which we found at app.krown.net. There is a link to the description below, and it is 100% free as well. I'm going to turn off the alerts because Scott Barney's already here, and we'll get into that soon enough. But what do we see? Bitcoin dominance looking like it's found its footing here. I think this would be a good day to go check out on the Bitcoin dominance chart. Fear and greed index actually coming down significantly as well. We did hit a 60, I think it was earlier this week, or perhaps at end of last week, now coming down to a 42. So we're once again fearful. No, realistically, anything between about 40 and 60 is neutral. Nothing really to be spoken about there. And that's what you expect as Bitcoin essentially reclaims, some of the higher term time frame ranges, and Ethereum as well, actually mostly leading this rally. In fact, and it's going to be a big focus on today's initial analysis, and then we'll get on over into Bitcoin. Other than that, we need to go into the market data tab and see what we got going on right here. Global funding rate is still below what I even look at as par for the course, and this would suggest that if we want to trade a little bit up from here, certainly not out of the certainly not out of the question when you look at this from an underlying market dynamic standpoint. However, there's one really concerning thing that I'll show you soon enough. But for right now, let's just focus on the good things. Okay, so global funding rate still below 0.01, which is more or less, like I said, par for the course. And I do look at that as very allowing of some more upside moves, probably even into the weekend. On top of that, open interest starting to support price action a little bit more as well. We do have higher lows right there. I'd like to see a higher high alongside price action, but as you can see right now, it is still very much operating on lower highs, and that would be rather concerning if we really started to work in our way into the $45,000 territory and continued on with the overall downtrend on that. That would be in fact very incriminating from my standpoint. Global exchanges net flow is also negative, and also on the good side, we do see that global exchanges Bitcoin reserve is still remaining with the downtrend right here, as is the leverage ratio, although on a slight uptick for right now. But we typically do see that this is on a general downtrend when Bitcoin's in a general uptrend, and vice versa for the other side as well. Anyways, I'll show you some more not so bullish things over here. How about that? All right, so turn your eyes away, boolahs in the world, and what do we see on the whale ratio? By the way, if you're not familiar with this, all it's kind of telling you is the relative size of the top 10 inflows to total inflows for all exchanges. So the number increases means an increase in selling pressure, very likely from whales. And we actually do see that this is moving on to the highest level that we have seen since July 17th. July 17th, a rather interesting date now, isn't it? In fact, we should go reference where exactly that was, because I actually don't remember right here. So let's see, into the price action charts we go, and where was July 17th? It's actually right on over here, pretty much on the lows. So you know what, maybe not as bad as what I first considered, but this is more of a long-term type of view on things. Anyways, like I said, we're going to start off with Ethereum today, because coming into this week, we saw some major things, namely on the weekly, which did set us up with some biases for moves up to about 28 to 2900-ish region. We pretty much seen that move to 2800 already. We did get up to about 2773, spot 60 in the early morning hours, or at least for myself. I actually got a really good night of sleep last night, so I'm really happy about that. But more importantly, I do still look at this as very likely to try a little bit higher from this region, regardless of whether you're bullish or bearish. That would be based off of the hidden bullish divergence, multiple drives actually on the weekly right here. Josh already alluded to the other one, which would be the daily jewel, which has actually lost its curvature for now, but this is still good, and any sort of sideways above this level, back above about 25.20, is more or less constructive, and very likely does beget another continuation drive a little bit higher. And then also we do see that the weekly jewel has actually gotten a little bit of upside curvature here, led actually in front by the auto fib. So I do look at that as very good, at least for another short-term extension of this bounce, and maybe even this does turn out to be the macro reversal that I think everyone's looking for. But for right now, the next targets would be right around about 2900 or so, with potential for more if Bitcoin can really start to close above that region, specifically on a daily. In fact, we'll go, or it's not Bitcoin, but Ethereum can close above that region, specifically on a daily, which will go down into the charts into that time frame soon enough. But for right here, if we do start to do that, then I would start to look for next week, or perhaps a week after that, maybe later this month, is maybe going to be a little more applicable to about the $35,000, maybe even $36,000 level, or sorry, $3,500 to $3,600 level, with potential for more over time. That's such like really good. However, it should be also known on our momentum charts over here, daily stokes are turning down, and they will be remaining to the downside as long as we're below on a daily closing basis, 2758 or so. And more importantly, while that would very likely lead into a short-term sideways consolidation, again, anything above about 2520 is fair game and good for boolahs here. It should also be known that on the other side, the weekly actually did have a fresh cross the upside for the first time since quite literally April of this year, so multiple months away. and will remain to the upside as long as above 2270 or so. So we have a nice $500, or actually more like $400 buffer from that from where we're at right now. And for a little bit of historical relevance here, we do see that this is actually coming in line with the same trend line that we do have coming in all the way back from September 2018, connected with our September 2019 lows right here, and then once again getting this low thus far. I'm actually curious if these lows were major lows, and actually they were not, funnily enough, but they did lead up for, at the very least, a nice little move. You can see this one right in over here. Did have a decent move off the lows. However, we did move lower over time. It did grab onto that same trend line, by the way, so it did turn out to be overall okay. Same thing on this one over here. Failed move, and then did grab onto it over here. And then could we perhaps be seeing something relatively similar over here? Perhaps yes. Although these are different segments of the market cycle, obviously these were well after the weekly had reversed. Over here, we have not actually seen the weekly officially reverse just yet. We do not actually have a downtrend on the weekly. We do have a downtrend on the daily, or actually no, we do not anymore, because we did take out the last daily high. So fair enough. Hey, there you go. All right, some good things to be looking at right there. Anyways, short-term timeframes on Ethereum, where are we at for momentum oscillators? 4-hour will be remaining to the upside as long as above 2520. Looking at 3-hour, I imagine 2700. So that does imply that we do need to see this start to move pretty much out of this current base, like today actually. 2730 for the bi-hourly, and hourly showing 2750 or so. So those are the magical numbers right there to keep it up in the short-term timeframes. But the next big thing that I'd be looking for on the weekly specifically is whether the weekly closes above or below the exponential on the RSI right here. If that happens by Sunday, I will be looking for new highs on this rally. Not new all-time highs, that is, but that could very easily get extended to 35, maybe even 3600. But we're still, multiple days away from that, and it's not really pro to be speaking about just yet. It's a potential setup in the future to come. Looking at the short-term timeframes over here for Ethereum, what do we see? We do see, or let's put on some drawing tools right here. Yeah, we do see a nice little base coming in around the mid $2,500 region. So if we do want to come back down around there and set in another higher low, that's completely fine. Complete is still good. However, I would start to be very, very cognizant of a break in trend here with any sort of move back down below about 2,500 or so. That would start to destroy the current uptrend on the short-term timeframes, and even I believe on the daily as well. Because this is what do you really consider this right here? It's not a higher low. It is a higher high, but we don't necessarily have a confirmed local high or of course a confirmed local low here either. So this is at some point going to come back down and set in a higher low, and that's going to scare the ever-loving shit out of everyone. Perhaps it doesn't even set in a higher low. Maybe it's just another failed bounce. At the end of the day, I do want to remain open-minded towards all the possibilities here, because this is still very much undecided. And realistically, as we have been saying since the beginning, pretty much of this whole dump-ola in middle of May, that if you do want to be bullish, you're very likely waiting until the end of summer. And by end of summer, I mean, at earliest probably early September, maybe even all the way through September, something like that. But it does speak volumes that Bitcoin and Ethereum especially have been able to hold their lows for at least this long. I mean, we've made it like 3 months now, so that's a pretty good signal right now. So it keeps the Bulaw's hopes alive for the time being. And while Ethereum does have its event today, I do believe, which everyone's kind of going off of, it's like is this a sell the event or not? I'm not so sure actually, because this does not look like a sell to me. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily be looking for this to even go down below about 2450 today, to be honest with you. So that $1,000 target might be a little bit waiting there. I'm not saying that it can't ever happen, but perhaps not this week. and fair enough on that one. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, of course, and everyone's entitled to, more importantly, make their trades so that you can take the other side of that trade, and then you can actually bet with your finances rather than saying silly things on the YouTube comments, because who the fuck cares about that, man? At the end of the day, you're only judged, or at least realistically, you're only judged by your P&L, financially speaking. Anyways, with that said, where would the next sort of pivot be for a move higher into the $3,500-$3,600 level, regardless of what we just spoke about on the weekly? That would be, of course, a daily closure on new highs. Anywhere above 2860 would look very, very, or 2850 would look very, very good to me, and especially above 2900, do have to start to look towards the next major level, which is going to be actually a little bit lower than what I said on the weekly. This one would correlate with about 3350 to 3400 or so. In fact, I'll put a nice little blue box territory right there so that we can reference this if it does become relevant in the next week or two to come. So that's what I'd be looking at right there. And if I were to give my own stupid opinion on this, do the old crystal ball bullshit, which is not good trading, which is not good technical analysis. It is, it's like crypto Twitter and crypto YouTube LARPing is what it really is. What I'd probably be looking for is, or if we saw something like this over the weekend, this would be classic, would be some sort of a move to the upside over the weekend above $3,000. Then coming into next week or maybe later this month, we do see rejection. We come all the way back down to low $2,000. And at that point, we get to play the game of, is this a higher low or not? Anyways, with that said, let's go into Bitcoin now and see where Bitcoin's kind of come in at, as Bitcoin is a little bit of a laggard on this one. This rally is very obviously being led by Ethereum due to, I imagine, it's big event. By the way, I actually had something to say about the event because Nimbo hit me up yesterday, and Nimbo let me know that it's actually, if you actually go on to their notes right here, it might not be what everyone's kind of suggesting it to be. I'm actually just bringing it up right here. Okay, so what is EIP-1559? So basically, what I gathered from this, or sorry, what Nimbo gathered from this, who had related to me, and it seems like this is very consistent, is that this is really just having miners' fees and changing the gas limits, effectively reducing miners' fees twice. So I don't really know where a lot of like the more romantic ideas are coming in about this, but I mean, it is a big deal, obviously, but I feel like there's been maybe some misunderstandings about what this actually is. Again, if you are really in the know and you understand these things very specifically for fun, on the fundamental side, please do speak out, because I'm not that person. But that's kind of what we gather from here, and this is the official Ethereum.org website, just so you know. Anyways, okay, back into the price action charts we go, and let's see what we got on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is also of interest here. And you can see now, by the way, that the white 200 simple on the daily is coming in right around where? Right around 45,000 bucks. So I do suspect that the best Bitcoin does to the upside on this rally before playing out a bigger pullback is going to be 45,000 bucks, if it even gets there to begin with. But we had a really good reaction off the yellow 21 exponential moving average on the daily yesterday, and that was kind of my sort of bias for looking for a bounce and continuation on that bounce. So again, I do suspect that this is going to be mostly led by Ethereum, and we're going to be kind of tethered to that, to that price action for right now. But basically the same sort of rules as yesterday do go. We haven't really done anything too significant here. We did hit our target pretty much all the way up to 40,000 bucks. Not bad. Okay, pretty damn good right there. However, for right now, I mean, we're just right smack dab in the middle of the range. There is nothing, really changing here on the medium or higher term timeframes. We got the bounce that we were looking for. If you traded that one, congratulations. That was a nice trade, because doing a perusal of the interwebs yesterday, everyone was very bearish right here, which fair enough. I mean, it's great to be bearish on on a fucking support, as always. Anyways, sorry, can't help myself, but hey, at the end of the day, what do we see right here? Potential hidden bearish divergence will be forming if Bitcoin does fail to actually trade above the high thus far, which is 39,950, probably sometime intraday today, actually. And I would feel comfortable saying that if Bitcoin does start to come back down, and especially even close like 2-hour dildos back down below about 39,000 bucks, I would be looking for this rally to come back down and retest the 37.5 lows. Probably sets it up for another try for a bounce there. But ultimately, if that level is failed, just as we said earlier yesterday, I guess, I would be looking for a general move all the way down to 33,000 bucks, 33,500, with perhaps bounces along the way at 35,000 bucks. But for right now, that's not necessarily the main disposition that I'd be having on this asset. And it should also be remembered that, of course, on the weekly, last week we did something of specific interest. We closed above the yellow 21 exponential average for the first time in quite some time, since, of course, May, actually. And that has the good old Mimi going for it once again, right? With which we can look at right here. I'm going to take off everything else so that we can just briefly see it, and then I'll actually offer up a bit of critique as to why this is not what you might think it is, or at least what other people are presenting it as, at least for this exact moment in time. So basically, throughout the 12-year history of Bitcoin, we do have a very lovely relationship with the yellow 21 on the weekly. Specifically, anytime that Bitcoin's above it, good. Anytime Bitcoin's below it, bad, for the boo laws, of course. If you're bears, or if you're just a trader, then you don't give a fuck, and it's just another another source of edge that you can probably trade and make money off of. So fair enough on that. Anyways, with that said, there's another component to that always gets forgotten about, or not always, but it gets forgotten about, unfortunately, because it's probably the most important component. Not only do we need to see a closure above that moving average in order to, see generally bullish markets, which does work pretty fucking well here, we need to see a positive slope as well. If you don't have those two things going for you, it ain't gonna fucking work out. The reason why I say that is because you do see, more importantly, you can actually zero in on this area over here. While Bitcoin actually did break below it, we never got a negative slope on it. So this actually keeps you long through the 2013 move to the downside. Now, of course, was that tradable? Yes, indeed it was. But we're coming at this from a more long-term perspective now. And then, of course, it tells you that this is a bull trap right here. and not good. Anyways, more recently, have we flipped around the slope on this just yet? No, we have not. It's actually flat right here, and it might even have a slight down twist. In fact, let's actually see. I'm literally just looking at the moving average right here. So yes, it is pretty much flat right now. So it's it is very much undecided. I imagine if we get another closure above by the end of this weekend, or especially next week as well, that'll look very, very good for actually starting to flip around the switch. And I would be looking for a general move back up somewhere around deep $40,000 territory. Yes, I still do believe that Bitcoin would have a bit of a trap there, but that trap very likely does lead to a higher low if that were to happen. However, I need to see it in conjunction with something else very, 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 very specifically. In fact, if you just want to make things as fucking easy as possible, which why not? If I will not be calling any macro lows until this one significant thing happens. How about that? There's your YouTube clickbait for the day. And where is my damn fundamental chart? There it is. All right, the hash ribbons indicator. Do we have a blue buy signal? No, we don't. Are we anywhere near getting a blue buy signal? Well, we're getting closer. It looks a lot better when you actually look at it on this indicator over here in this view. But no, it still takes some time. And realistically, even when we do flip it around so that it's actually showing blue right here, minus the blue buy signal, that is not a signal in and of itself. That just means it's it's a possibility to actually get that signal. But we specifically need to see this. Without that, there ain't no fucking lows to be called, or especially new all-time highs to be looked at, in my opinion, because we've never seen that in the history of Bitcoin, specifically for new all-time highs. Bitcoin has never, ever, ever, not even fucking once, ever made a new all-time high without getting a blue buy signal after formally getting a capitulation signal. So, sorry, I should re-explain that. Capitulation signal happened right here. We have never, not once in the history of Bitcoin, seen new all-time highs printed after getting this signal without first getting the blue buy signal, as you see over here. Capitulation, then buy, boom, and what happens after that? New all-time highs. Beautiful, lovely, great. Everyone's happy about that. So with with that in mind, we're still pretty damn far away, and that's why I also do suspect that we have a bit of waiting if you do want to be bullish. If you're bearish, you're probably looking for a bull trap right here, or maybe a little bit higher over the weekend, somewhere around mid $45,000 territory. Remember, that area is still fraught with peril. There still is all the things that we've been speaking about coming in around that region. What might they be? Well, of course, that is your CME gap coming in from 45 to 47, 4,800, or sorry, 48,000 bucks right there. Also 618 bearish tracement, of course, as well. And what else do we have aligned within that region? Several other things which we don't need to go through. I have them all laid out on the long-term analysis playlist, which I did make a major update this past weekend. But we should check out the monthly here just to see. And what is the monthly looking like right now? I mean, the monthly is just bounced above the 9, and it actually does a positive slope, but this is not really conclusive in and of itself. I could actually make a lot of bearish interpretations of this, but for right now, okay, I guess. Anyways, we'll keep the Bulah's hopes alive for now, and I'm still very much open to that, but I do think that short term it's up to kind of Ethereum to kind of keep the party going, and then especially if we see a move to the upside over the weekend, that would be very telling at the very least for a major pullback and pullback targets for Bitcoin, as we spoke about. If we do break the 37.5 level, I would be looking for a move all the way down to like somewhere around 33.5 region, something like that, with a bounce along the way. So until that happens, still kind of a wait and see market if you do want to be a more long term investor. But at the end of the day, I've been getting a lot of questions like from long-term investors, which I am not. So I want to be very directly clear with that. You're asking a fucking cat if they like dog bones, but I can offer up a little bit of perspective perhaps. And that would be this. Look, if you are a long-term person and you are out of this market right now, or you're thinking of redeploying your capital or whatever, look, you never go fucking balls deep, right? You never blow your whole load in one go. And that means that even if you are bearish or bullish here, perhaps you do consider, putting a little bit in, like maybe 10%, right? Maybe 10%. And again, I'm not suggesting that this is what anyone should do. It's just maybe consider that you don't always need to be fucking full in or full out. That is ridiculousness. That is only something that you do, or that's something that you never professionally do. That's something you do as as just a fucking kid playing around with their money, probably in college, something like that, which is fine. Everyone's got to learn somehow, some way. And usually it comes with tiers. So I would say, if you're going to go fucking full in, full out, that never makes sense to me, especially with an asset like this that can sometimes pump or dump out of nowhere, and you don't want to be at the whims of this market. Anyways, I'll show my testnet positions over here. I've actually added a few things, or at least one thing I do recall, and we got our P&L back. Hey, not bad for those damn dirty options that are wide as fuck right here. Again, testnet account, it's not real money, but But what do I want to focus on over here? Oh, why does shit marks on these $36,000 call strikes? As always, just wrecking me on marks right there, but that's okay because I did short another 15 lot of these $80,000 strike calls. I think I did average price of what? I did average price of about 400. It looks like. Not 0.04 that is, which is very, very easy to cover, and of course this is expiring in September, so a good amount of premium on these. And I mean, realistically, until Bitcoin gets that blue buy signal, I will sell the shit out of anything that's even a little bit out of the money here. I mean, decently out of the money for these ones because it's very, very easy to cover and can still even make a profit. Just waiting for that next breakout. But realistically, I suspect that we're gonna have a lot of time between now and then, and probably gonna end up just being premium anyway. So. Fair enough with that. On the other side, I think I shorted a new 10 lot of these $17,000 call strikes. At least I got filled there because I recognized that I didn't have those before. So we're printing a nice little P&L for those. And I'm also still long the $68,000 call strike, and I did a spread. I did a spread between the $68,000 call strike and the $200,000 and shorted the $200,000 call strike. Only in Bitcoin can you do such things. Only in Bitcoin can you do such things. But of course, that is a bit of a time spread, and I did sell the short-term month right there. So fair enough. A little bit of a lottery ticket play. Again, very, very easy to cover and easy to kind of manage. Can always spread them out to reduce costs if need be, and trying to short another trying to short another 20 lot of these $200,000 call strikes, because why the fuck not, man? It's expiring in September, and that to me is just all premium for the Moon Boys. So I'll sell it to them every goddamn time, man. Every fucking time on that one. Again, easy as all hell to cover if need be, but what would need to happen for Bitcoin to get above or get above $200,000 because then you still got the premium on top of that. So something very terrible would have to happen. So fair enough on that. Anyways, with all of that said, let's go back down in the short-term timeframes for Bitcoin. I just want to see if there's anything of particular obviousness here. Whoops, wrong chart. There we go. All right, lovely. And let's see what we have on our momentum oscillators. Okay, we already saw that. What about the 12-hour? Do we see anything of particular interest right here? 12 hours fine. I do expect that we will give another test back up to about 40,700. And now let's kind of come up with a continuation area. Where do I start to look for this price action to continue into the $40,000 territory with a more tangible like trade setup, I suppose, in this case? And that would be with either a 12-hour delta closure above 41,000 bucks, and I suspect a daily as well. Yeah, daily would do it for me as well. Anywhere above 41 would very likely do it. Let's see where momentum oscillators do come in around for Bitcoin spot as well. We do see this is hourly. Let's go to the daily for, really quickly. Daily will actually twist back up with any sort of a closure above 42 and some odd change. 12 hours actually all the way down here, if you remember from yesterday. And more importantly, the 12 hours has been really good here because we saw 12-hour Stochs come all the way down alongside volatility contracting, which did suggest that, hey, this is first and foremost a consolidation. And if this is a consolidation after that current run, then that's, we have to run with trend right now, which is a bit of a reversal here. So we do look at that, or at least I look at that as very likely to put in a higher low first. That was also kind of playing into the biases yesterday that we're very likely to get a bounce off that level and then figure it out later. And this will actually flip back up to the upside with a concerted close above about 40,000 bucks, what's called, or 39.9, depending upon how exact you want to be right there. 4 hours going to be showing to the upside as long as above 37.9, so not bad, I suppose. 3 hours going to show 38.9. Bi hourly is going to show 39.8, and hourly is going to show about 39,000 bucks as well. So what does that essentially imply? It essentially implies we probably go sideways short term at best, and then maybe tomorrow or perhaps over the weekend, which I would probably not look at as a good thing. Do try and move back above 40,000 bucks. But for right now, I do expect that it's pretty much all eyes on Ethereum here. And just like Bitcoin, just like Ethereum, Bitcoin does have that same sort of stoke on the weekly as well, twisting to the upside as long as above 34,000 bucks. But as we have seen also on Ethereum, those first ones typically do get rejected after a little bit of an upside move. And that's kind of what we're getting right now. We actually are operating above all of the moving averages for the super guppy that I'm running right here. So that's actually looking decent for the time being. And if I did have to call it right now, yeah, I do think that Bitcoin will get that move into the $40,000 territory. But again, I do have major concerns in the mid 40s, specifically 45 to 47,000 bucks for both spot, 200 simple moving average right here, and also of course CME coming in from that gap that we had May 17th over here, and of course the 618 bearish retracement. Nothing really needs to be more said in my opinion about that. But we could also bring up the bi-weekly MACD, of which I've done too many goddamn times. So I'm not going to bore you with that today, and we can maybe get into comments right here, right now, because we are already 35 minutes into this video, and that's too damn long without having some good participations. All right, so let me just pull up what Elsa sent me over here, and let's see what we got going on. Okay, all right. Abbott wants to look at. All right, well, haha, Scott Carney, I win. ALYI inverted chart, please. All right, man. Sounds good, brother. ALYI, let's check it out. I'm curious where this one is right now. No, Scott, motherfucker. But on the inverted chart, we're bullish as fuck. So looking good, man. Buy it all up, except you can't trade in inverted charts, unfortunately. Oh, dear Lord. God damn it, Abbott. So mean. But, well, I think Scott's actually given up on that one because now he's on XELA. Let's check that one out. And yeah, major thank you for that, Josh. Yeah, man, the Joule update is, it wasn't even anything like too crazy. What I did is I just added a volatility component on it, then Warrenfall coded it in, and we've increased the results. Well, at least for myself, pretty damn good, especially on those scout plays on the shorter term timeframes. Really like that. So it sounds like it's finding you well, and I'm very happy to hear that, man. Hell yeah. Okay, so Scott Barney's up next. He wants to look at XELA. I need to turn back on the alerts right here. And you want to, you're asking for a bounce here. Bounce, please, sir. Let's check it out. All right. So this was this the same one we looked at yesterday? Yes, Scott Carney loves the shitty charts. Shitty charts, sir. Shitty charts indeed. Is this the inverted chart or not? Okay, I think this is not the inverted chart, so that's good. All right, are we looking for a bounce up to, sir, you got, God damn it, Scott. God damn it, Scott. You got your bounce yesterday, man. This is probably going to be a bit of a high right there. I'd probably be looking for next move to the downside, back down to about 250, 260-ish region. Long term, though, I do believe that you will trade back up to $4, but where's 488 coming from? Sir, you're always going for the damn moonshot. I gotta share you some sombering experience that I've had in my life. And, when you go for the moonshots on something like this, you're going to be waiting for a while. You're probably going to be right. You're actually probably going to be right if I had to guess. But look, man, you're buying a shit chart here. Like, that's the problem with these things. You're buying an absolute shit chart. So if the market does turn around, if the market shows any sort of weakness, this is going to be the first thing to dump because it is a piece of steaming fucking pile of garbage. I mean, this is log scale right here, and this even looks terrible. So what do you think the linear scale is going to look like? It looks even worse, man. This one's going to do nothing, or extremely likely to do nothing unless they have like a major fundamental change, which maybe you know about. Maybe you know some inside information. That's a different thing. That's not what I'm talking about here. But short term, medium term, I'd actually be looking for this to come back down to like $2.50. Probably try for another bounce there. Probably try for another higher low, and then maybe you get your $4.50 target med, and maybe some continuation over the next like few months. But this is, again, man, I'm genuinely curious if you could let me know, and I'm not saying this in like a condescending way, but I'm genuinely curious. Why choose something like this? Why like, do you just like the stock? Do you like what they're doing, or do you know something about it? Like, why choose a chart that looks like this? This is garbage as far as a chart goes. This is a dumpster fire. This is terrible. It's really bad. It's fucking eye aids is what I'm looking at right now. Like, you could buy anything else, pretty much anything else in NAS, maybe not anything else, but you could buy any of like the big 5 or big 6, like Microsoft. Hey, what the fuck? This thing only goes up. Fuck this one. I want to buy XELA. That shit looks good. Microsoft's going to the moon. It's already on the moon, man. This thing's been on the moon for a while, and it's going to make more moons, many moons. Looks like, dude, fucking crazy, dude. Where's the shitcoin, please? Where are the shitcoin, please? Shitcoin, please? Please show your... Holy shit, there they are! Take them away, boys! Scott Barney's at it again! Dean Davies says, Elsa can't wear a hat, that's why she's Finnish. I don't know what that means, but yes. Zerp Derp says, Elsa, why Finland derp in Olympics? Well, Finland's a small country and they're all white here, so we don't have good athletics. What? That's not racist. You can what the fuck? That's not racist. You can say shit against white people. It's not a problem. It's only others. Go Lucky says, howdy, bruv. Hello, bruv. Good to meet you. Good to see you. Notice the dislikes are going down. Have the Moon and Doom Boys given up on live preps? Yes. But that should probably also remind me. actually would like to pleasantly ask or very kindly ask, if you do feel compelled, please do like the video. It actually really helps, and actually saw a shit ton of people like the video yesterday, so that really does make it actually really does make a difference. So so thank you for that. I just want to say a concerted thank you. And yeah, probably the moon and Doom boys, I believe, probably have mostly left this, mostly left not just this channel, but probably the space in general, right? I mean, for the moon and Doom boys, this has been absolute just sandpaper range right here, right? I mean, they've been masturbating with sandpaper for 3 months now, and you can't do it for too long before running into issues, right? I mean, look, if you want to be bullish or bearish based off this right here, like looking for the moonshot or doom shot for the past 3 months, that's probably someone who's just very inexperienced, and they don't they're probably just inexperienced with markets, and they just don't know any better. Like, they probably learned about Bitcoin somewhere over here, and they're like, holy shit, man, this thing goes up like crazy, and then they saw it over here too, and they're like, oh my god, this thing goes down like a fucking knife through hot butter. And it's like, at the end of the day, man, these are very small situations in the grand scale of things. More often than not, 70 to 80% of the time, markets are consolidating, not fucking trending like crazy assets like this. All right, cool. What else do we have over here, sirs and zers? Evil Quandress says, can you legally own firearms where you live? Yes, you can. There's just a shit ton of hoops to jump through. And what I really want to own, and what that just reminded me of, is I want to buy a sword, man. I want to buy like a cool medieval fantasy sword that I can protect myself with when the fucking zombie apocalypse comes, or coronavirus apocalypse comes. And I just said the magic C word, so this video is definitely getting banned. King Cosmic says, hi, Krown. Hey, what's up, sir? Spy 1 hour daily. Yes, this was also another one that was kind of playing in a chore bias yesterday. That market's very likely number go up once again. And what do we see right here? Do we see new all-time highs? Actually, we didn't see new all-time highs. We did see it hold the structure. However, short-term timeframes, do we come back down? I don't have a strong opinion on that. Maybe, yesterday I did say maybe back down just below 4,400. We're actually right there right now, pretty much. But ultimately, I'm just not really bearish on this chart, specifically on the higher term timeframes. Daily, kind of same thing here as well. Now, there is one really easy way that I would get bearish on this, or at least medium term bearish, I suppose, Mr. King Cosmic, and that would be below the 3rd of August low right here. Anywhere below there, 43.65 and a quarter, and I'd be looking for a deeper retracement, very likely down to low 43, and perhaps even all the way down, even just below 43, somewhere down around the 55. But as you can see, that's been pretty much a major buy for the last year. So kind of hard to hate that. Momentum oscillators are still, I imagine, in a more or less bullish posturing. The only thing that's a little bit concerning here is daily jewel, but we're not combining that signal with a auto fib on the downside as well. So realistically, man, I don't think that plays out like that, or at least it's not like the home run that I think a lot of people are looking for. This is still an uptrend. This is still more or less good, and this is still something that I'd be, I suppose, bullish on. Short term, just trades a little bit of sideways from here, I imagine. Nasdaq, probably same thing. Perhaps Nasdaq's going to be a little more obvious, and yes, indeed, it is bullish as fuck still. Bullish as fuck still. Maybe maybe back down to 15,000 even today, but ultimately, this is an ascending triangle at a very high level. It's just an uptrend, man. Hidden bullish divergence right at the edge of the bullish control zone. Generally good on very low volatility here. So if we do see expansion from this posturing, which is rather likely, then that's going to be another, well, nice upside move, I imagine. Same sort of thing here too, though. Below 3rd of August low, we could go for a deeper retracement, but until that happens, man, gotta run with the trend. At least that is one of my major rules. Mr. BK says, sir, please, GHST BUSD on Binance for a daily weekly. Sure. All right, so GHST BUSD. Remember, this one had a really good chart coming into this week, and we said new all-time highs were likely, and I'd still stick with that. This looks really fucking good here, man. I remain bullish on this one, and again, this is why the trend is your friend. Yesterday, yes, it didn't look the most hot of all time, but we did get new closing all-time highs, in fact, and I'd be looking for this one to probably make a new wick all-time high, probably between now and the end of the week. This is looking pretty damn good here. 4-hour uptrend remains as long as you're above 184.5, so I will respect that, and I basically have nothing bearish to say as long as that condition is met, which right now the 4-hour RSI just confirming hidden bullish divergence and back in the bullish control zone, pretty much at your prior all-time highs. I'm probably looking for new all-time highs. I mean, you might call this a cup and handle. I'm not a humongous fan of these formations, especially in cryptocurrency land, but we could make a measure move on this, and let's just see where it kind of populates itself. Again, I really don't trust this all that much, so I'm going to do a very conservative measure move on this, and we got 231.5 right here. By the way, I see Hamilton from Bitcoin Beats in the chats as well, man. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Guys, check out Bitcoin Beats. He also does some analysis on YouTube as well, and just a really cool guy, it seems like. So definitely give him a look. But yeah, man, moving on, what else do we have over here as far as, oh, you want to look at a weekly? I mean, there's really not a whole hell of a lot of weekly to look at here, but it's probably one of the better charts in cryptocurrency land right now, if not one of the best charts. This is still bullish on both fronts to me. And actually, these measure moves pretty much line up with each other, which is good too. All right, cool. Super Googly says, hello, sir. How you doing, man? Can we have a look at Triple M weekly and monthly, please? What is this? MMM. 3M company. All right, that's a great ticker for you. All right, let's see what we got going on right here. Yeah, this one's kind of losing its structure a little bit. I am not a humongous fan of what it's doing in the short term. I do think you probably have a little bit of a short-term downside move, probably back down just around 195. Might try for a higher low right there. That would be the bullish view on this one. And technically speaking, it is more on the bullish side. I mean, we do have an uptrend here, and it is going through consolidation. So I'd want to see something like this, right? I'd want to see something like this, where we put in a higher low, or this asset puts in a higher low. Not necessarily me, because I ain't fucking trading this thing, and I'm certainly not putting lows on this one as well. But if you do start to lose, especially below 27th of July low, you probably do have a continuation trade right there, back down to the low side of this structure, about 190, and that's going to start to look not so hot, as we do have a confirmed local high, and coming back down to your prior lows is not necessarily the most bullish thing of all time. Weekly over here, I'm not really getting too much from this. I would remain with the general bullish view, however, just because this one, this one does still hold the uptrend, and things are just looking sloppy right now. And with the way that the major indices are looking, like, I'd probably give it the benefit of the doubt. But you're looking at a weekly and monthly, and I haven't even looked at that. Okay, so let's see, monthly. Yeah, monthly can, if the monthly does want to pull down, 190 is going to be an obvious target. I would be looking for a bounce there, but I'm not necessarily like full on bearish on this chart. In fact, looking at monthly RSI, I do expect a little bit of sideways consolidation here, perhaps throughout the rest of this month, August, and probably even September. It would be viewed as very, very good. So I don't think that this one's like moving to the upside right now, but I actually do like the monthly here, and I wouldn't be surprised to see this one maybe make a move towards like 200, 215 by end of, or sorry, not 200, but more like 215 to 220. Probably sometime around end of year Q4 is what I'd be looking for. And long term, very good chart. This is not a Scott Barney chart. This is a Scott. This is a Scott Alters Egos chart over here. This is a fucking Abidynamic chart right now. God damn, man. Yeah, very, very good over a long period of time. So I always, I always respect a chart that looks like that, but probably sideways for a while here at best. If not, then you probably do have some downside to look at. Save Pump Classic says Telcoin equals Ethereum contract. Okay. Tel USDT or Tel Ethereum compare. Let's just look at Tel versus USD, because that's, a little bit more stable and probably makes things easier from a long-term analysis perspective. Okay, so very sloppy and weird chart here. It's definitely not following this market as much as some of the other ones. Did have a pretty nice upside move right there, but really lost its luster and not joining in on the current upside move that Ethereum especially is enjoying here. There's a couple of obvious areas, especially for the daily. Any sort of a daily closure below the 200 exponential average is not going to look too damn good. If you want to be a little more conservative about to use this one spot 5-8 level right here, just this current what would be higher low. That would be no questions asked. This thing's coming back down, probably around the lows of this current, of this current dump-ola, and probably goes for another bounce there as well. But this is going to start to look very, very bad long term if that's going to happen, or maybe not bad long term, but it'd start to look bad, for a deeper retracement over time. But for right now, I give it the benefit of the doubt. It had a nice run right here. This would be your higher low. So assuming that it does hold, I'd be looking for another move back up somewhere around the 55 at about 2 cent even. If you can start to close daily totals above 2 cents, then that's at the point where it starts to, really respect this one a lot more. Looking for a move to about 2.5, maybe even all the way up to 3 cent. But for right now, this one's not one of the relatively strong ones. It's kind of a little bit, I'd say it's more like par for the course. Not bad, not great, but I need to see it hold this higher low right here. Otherwise, coming back down to the lows, and while it probably gets another bounce there, I don't think it's going to hold up over time, to be honest with you. Looking at a monthly, doesn't look great. Long term, 4 hour looks like it wants to keel on over. This looks like another lower high, hidden bearish divergence as well. Yeah, definitely not enjoying one of the stronger rallies as of recent, which is not a good sign. So really up to Bitcoin and Ethereum to keep it up here, and any sort of downside moves, this one's going to get hit, I imagine, a little bit more. Okay. All right. Michael Crook says FLGC. I want short, or you want short, or you want short from 1050 to 8. Oh, Jesus Christ. What the hell is this thing? Oh, dear Lord. What are we going to look at right here? Flora Growth Corporation. This must be some sort of like, probiotics, or either probiotics or weed, both of which are great. Anyways, let's see what time frame are we looking at. Okay, hold on. First off, I want short from 1050 to 8. Okay, so 1050 is, oh, you mean 1050, like 10.50, not 1050. Okay, all right, so you probably shorted somewhere right around here, and you're looking for a move back down to about $8. I think that you're on the wrong side of this trade, man. To be honest with you, this is a little bit of profit-taking pullback right here. It's the way that I look at this one on the daily, weekly. It's a little bit too young to really judge on the weekly. 4 hour, you're basically going against. I'd say you probably do get like 880. I don't think that would be too much of anything to kind of go after. However, this looks like it's sitting in a higher low right here on the hourly already, and daily. Again, I look at this just first kind of profit taking after a nice upside move. I don't know if I'd necessarily be looking towards this one to cough up the whole rally that you saw on August 3rd. I think you're kind of on the wrong side of that trade, but that's just my stupid opinion, sir. We do have bearish divergence on this one, ever so slightly, but I don't really trust something that's only been around for a few months here since May. So, take that as you will. I could very easily be wrong on this one, but I do think 880 is certainly certainly reasonable, but you kind of are finding this one. And technically speaking, if this one actually does put in a higher low right here, you will have hidden bullish divergence, and that's going to very likely put you in a bit of pain, probably back up to the highs of this rally, somewhere around $13-14 or so. So just be aware of your risk, sir, and I'll just leave it like that. Theo Storm, what's up, man? Hey, Krown, check out SPX stock market. Yep, we've looked at it a million times already. Not a million times. We looked at it once already. No, I don't think it's topped out just yet, man. If you're looking at like an hourly, then yes, it probably has short-term toppy action. But no, looking at this right here, man. No, I need to see this thing come back down below August 3rd lows. If you're talking about like a major top, this is a nice healthy consolidation right here, man. People are way too eager to short something that is in an uptrend. Like, if I could share one thing from my experience that would just hopefully lessen the potential pain of getting into trading, which probably most people should not anyways, is don't try to fucking call tops or bottoms before they're goddamn confirmed. It's going to save you a lot of pain, or at least that was a very painful experience for myself. We can look at it over here on momentum charts as well. I'm just curious where it's currently at, 4,400, and what do you know? Yeah, we are very high there on the weekly. No doubt, but it can stay up there. Daily's going to cross back up with any sort of a closure above 44.08. And again, I look at NASDAQ as well, and these things do more or less play with each other, and this one is looking like continuation. Again, I know these charts look crazy. I do know that these charts look crazy. Look, it looked fucking crazy to me back in 2013, 2014 as well, and I learned a very painful lesson that, trying to guess the top before it actually happens, just because XYZ is not very wise. So this one, I think that you're potentially putting yourself in a lot of pain as long as you're above, again, these August 3rd lows. If you go down to a lower term time frame, you could probably use like 43.80 or so, but even then, man, I just don't understand the obsession with trying to make this more difficult than it needs to be. I'm not even saying that you're not going to be right on this, just like, what's the fucking plan if you're wrong is a real question, right? So yeah, Jack Asman, what's up, man? Ethereum, Bitcoin, short and medium term, please. All right, let's see where this one's at. I imagine it's actually doing pretty damn well recently. Granted that Ethereum is leading the rally, and it is. Hey, not bad there. Not bad at all. Let's get the medium term time frames first. Okay, big happening here, Mr. Jack. Very, very big happening right here. First and foremost, we actually are above what would be your falling channel resolution point. We've also taken out this last prior high right here. That was two of my conditions in succession with each other for actually looking for a major breakout right here. This would also support that Ethereum probably actually does continue on here. Maybe later this month, probably not next week. I do suspect that it's probably going to go into a bit of a consolidation at some point, but this would look pretty damn good for a move back up to the prior highs of this rally. Looking at the weekly, we've also taken out that prior high right there. Weekly RSI back in the bullish control zone, back above the exponential. Weekly Joule has lost its downside curvature. Good. We can even see a nice trend line coming in from the last few lows right here. That is kind of riding. And also, if we do look at, I believe, daily, yes, we do see that volatility is expanding on the trend line breakout. These are good things to be happening with each other. So you got trend, you got momentum, you got volatility. Those are my three things that I love to look at. Full hour, if you're looking at short-term timeframes, golden cross, retest, boom, up, holds, holds the structure, good. Yeah, I'm pretty much bullish on all time frames. No reason to be bearish on this one as long as you're above 6.6 million satoshis in at least in my opinion. Below there, yeah, you probably look for another retracement back down to like low 6, but that's not necessarily what we're doing right now. So of course, there's always things on both sides, but that one looks very, very good. So take that as you will, man. J3F says storage USD daily and 4 maybe hourly. Okay, storage. Yeah, so this one was a 2017 shitcoin as well. I have not looked at this one in years, but I certainly remember it from way back when. Let's see what it looks like on Binance. And you're looking at 4 hour and daily. I imagine this one's going to have a pretty shitcoin-esque chart. Actually, no, it's not as bad as most shitcoins, to be fair. It did actually make new all-time highs above its 2017 highs, so that kind of says something. Barely. Most things went like fucking, the strong ones went like fucking 3, 4, 5x above their all-time highs. But hey, it's not as bad as some of the other shitcoins that we have seen, certainly, so let's not disparage it too much. Doesn't deserve it. Daily, did close above the 200. I would be looking for another run at the white 200 simple right here, somewhere around 120 or so, but it's hard to get, it's hard to look for like a major extension on this run as long as we're closing daily doodles below this little level right here, which I'll actually mark off with a nice little blue box. But I do suspect that you will test around it. The real question is, does it hold it or not? And again, probably easier to watch Bitcoin and Ethereum. But hey, you do have a few good things going on right here. You do have higher lows, obviously. Bitcoin doesn't have higher lows just yet. And you do have higher highs kind of as well. I mean, above this 8th of July high right here. So fair enough. I do expect that this one actually has a little bit of upside and generally looking okay. Daily RSI nice and healthy. And if we go down to the short-term timeframes, just kind of stair stepping its way up. No real reason to be bearish on this one short term as long as it holds the higher low at 96.5 cents. So yeah, man, not bad. Not bad actually for an altcoin there, especially a 2017 altcoin, which usually they look absolutely terrible. Franz Binder says, noob here. Oh shit, take down your pants, brother, and get ready for some ramming, sir. Glad to be here. Well, I'm glad that you're here as well, sir. Crapcoin. What? You can just say shit, man. It's all good. Hog Finance. Yo, dear Lord. Need to check my hog. Hog Finance. Found this one on CoinMarketCap. Yeah, that's right, hog. Oh, it's not even on. Oh, it's on TradingView. That's a real good sign. It only trades on HoneySwap. Uniswap. No, it's not even on fucking Uniswap. God damn it. Goddamn hog finance. Sir. Where's the chart? I don't mean to chastise you or haze you too much on your debut into this lovely, very highly esteemed cryptocurrency market with all sorts of great coins that are going to change the world. Just don't listen to that stupid SEC chairman, Mr. Ginsburg, talking about all this FUD that these are going to be considered securities. He's garbage. He's just trying to manipulate your hog finances to zero. And it's already pretty close to zero, in fact. So he's done a good job at his manipulations. Fuck! He's accumulating! The SEC chairman's accumulating! He's getting his hogs wet! Bye, bye, bye! Bye, bye, bye! Oh shit! The shitcoin police have got me! They saw me accumulating! They see me accumulating! They hating! Those bastards! Fuck them! There's got to be a better chart of this piece of shit somewhere. Maybe this. Fucking dollars rallying against the hog coins. Motherfucker. That's right. We're bullish now. Oh shit, man. Well, welcome to crypto, sir. We all get rugged once. There's no long... Sorry, man. I need to read this one more time. Again, this is said with full respect to you. As far as charts go, that's a garbage fucking chart, man. I would not talk shit about you as a person, but as a chart, fucking piece of shit. That's right. Literally all in. Okay, so here, I want to read this just once again. Hog Finance USD long-term if possible. There's no long-term to be done on something that's been around for like a few days or a few weeks, man. There's no way to do that, man. I don't know what sort of marketing you're being sold on something like that, but it's for the love of fucking God, where do you even find out about a piece of shit like that? That's my question. Play the moon song. That one's not invited to the moon, unfortunately. Zeostorm says, does the Ethereum Bitcoin chart breaking up out of its triangle and the Bitcoin dominance chart breaking down from its triangle confirm an alt season? No, I don't think so. And I also don't believe that Bitcoin dominance is actually breaking down here. I do think that Ethereum leads this rally, but most altcoins are not benefiting from this rally all that much. Look, okay, first off, I don't see a fucking triangle here. God damn, this is why people hate TA. Where's the triangle, for the love of God? I don't know. Man, need to go. Those fucking kindergarten schools, man, they're not good anymore. Still, it's an uptrend here, man. You got higher lows as long as you're above 44.5%, and I expect that you're probably going to try for some right around here. I mean, our 46% target has been hit now. I'd probably be looking for this one to try to put in a low here. You will have, I imagine. No, you actually won't have hidden bullish divergence right there, but still, I actually would like this from here. So, you know, Ethereum going up without the rest of altcoins is not going to really affect the Bitcoin dominance chart that much. I mean, you do see a pullback here, but we expected that pullback. Ethereum Bitcoin going up is relevant to Ethereum Bitcoin, in my opinion. I don't think that it represents the whole altcoin sphere here. So is it an altcoin season? No, I wouldn't say so. I'd say it's an Ethereum season right now. This is looking very, very good. This is looking very fucking good. And you know, we've been bullish on the higher term time frames for this one for a long time. And I mean, it's just been taking its time, which is fine. I mean, that's what you expect to see on a monthly, bi-monthly, and quarterly, which we reference on this one. And I'd still stick with my long-term targets of 0.11 actually. Maybe even more over time. Maybe this thing even goes for a trending move. It's fucking good, man. It's good. But I would not say that I confirm an altcoin season just based off that. If that's like your directed question, no. Bitcoin dominance, I do think. And also, where's the triangle in Ethereum as well? That's my question. Maybe I'm missing something here, but goddamn triangles at it again. I just see a falling channel, which I'm not even a humongous fan of those formations either. But that's a pretty damn obvious one. Abidemic says Tata daily, bit of an ascending try. Okay. Oh man, we got another triangle here. All right, let's rip these damn triangles to shreds. Do we look at it on? I swear this one used to trade on. This one traded on Arca. I swear I used to make markets on this one like way long ago. Or is it Tata or TT? Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Whatever. Okay, so let's see. Bit of an ascending triangle. No, you have something else actually going on here. This one is an obvious consolidation, yes, but you do have you have more so a rectangle right here, which is a consolidation pattern. And here's the thing, man. Here's what I want to focus on. When it comes to like formations and everything, the reason why you barely hear me call out, like I'll rarely call out a formation, is because at the end of the day, man, any formation can break out any goddamn which way. And realistically, it's the interaction with support and resistance that essentially, gives you an edge on that anyways. So this one, I mean, it's a rectangle. This one actually has equal opportunity to the upside or down. It's kind of like a symmetrical triangle. And, if you want to go by the book here, below here, I'm bearish. Above here, I'm bullish. But like, let's say it was an ascending triangle, how would that change things for me? I mean, I'd still be bearish on a break of the bottom side, the bottom side support, quote unquote, and I'll still be bullish on a break of the top side support. Just, it gives you a bit of an edge, gives you a bit of a bias there. But no, I wouldn't call this a triangle. I just call it a consolidation, and probably a healthy one at that, to be fair. Let's see what the long term looks like here. It's pretty bad. Pretty fucking bad. It's kind of weird. Like, it does hold the macro lows, as you can see. It's probably going to be better seen on like a monthly. Yeah. It does hold it on the monthly, but if I'm looking at the monthly right here, I think best this one does is trade sideways for a while, and then maybe like 2022 tries an upside move. But for right now, this could very well be another macro high. But I don't think it's going to like trend to the downside anytime soon. I think that this one spends a lot of time going sideways, and then you probably make a decision maybe later this year or early next year, something like that. J3F says Luna USD daily 4 hour hourly. Always, hey man, appreciate that. All right, Luna's been a pretty damn good one from what I remember, the last few days especially, or the last like week and a half especially. Yeah, really fucking good move here. So this is probably what you're hoping, or this is what you're very likely hoping for Ethereum to do, something very similar. And it's a good sign that this thing is doing something that is rather impressive here. It's come back and retested its prior breakdown from 17th of May. First move is going to be a rejection of that, very, very likely. That's what we're seeing right now. I would be looking for this one to maybe spike it a few more times and then come back down, consolidate, whether it be somewhere around about $13 or $12, that's fine. But ultimately, this looks really, really good. This is a bump and run formation right here. I just want to see a little bit of consolidation and then an actual break, and then you can probably target, $20 and maybe even beyond. Monthly, looks good here. It's not going to give us a lot though, just because it's a little bit still new. If we go down to the 4-hour time frame, it looks like, yeah, we're going to officially spike $16 and some odd change first. Maybe it actually does break on the first try. Maybe. I mean, if this thing's really fucking strong, it will, but you don't really see that too often. It's, you're kind of playing against the probabilities at that point. Probably more likely to reject from there, consolidate a little bit lower, and then give the real push. Especially if this thing can like set in a really good weekly closure, which would be phenomenal, anywhere above $14. I would be looking for this one to probably retest prior highs and maybe even make new all-time highs, in the next month or two. Would look very, very good, man. Zeostorm is back again. Take a look at FET. Has it broken out of resistance and next target? All right, let's see. We got FET, US DERP, and we're going to go to Binance for this one, as is the best place for all your shitcoin needs. And actually, yes, this is pretty damn good. Another altcoin that's showing some good moves right here. So good on you, man, for finding yet again another good altcoin. And we got a golden cross coming in very, very soon here on the daily, assuming that it can just hold above the 200 simple. We put in a higher low there, or this thing put in a higher low there yesterday. We already have a higher low right on over here and higher highs, so you are in an uptrend. Most things in this market are not. That really does speak volumes towards itself. I would be having a general target towards about $0.50, maybe even more over time. So it has a broken resistance. I think it broke the trend like way back on over here, and that's what I care about more. And weekly, hey, what do you know? We got our first open and closure above the 21 right here. It has a positive slope. Yeah, I'd probably be looking for this one to trade north of $0.50, maybe even all the way up to 60 cents over the next month. Looks good actually, all things considered. So nice one. Abitemic says, I hear the moon song in my sleep. Love it. I'm glad you hear it, sir. I'm glad you hear it. F Moon or Doom, this has been the best couple months of trading this range. Yeah, there's been a very, 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 very generous range, and a lot of great setups have been had within this range. It hasn't been anything too sexy, but at the end of the day, man, this channel is going to be here regardless of whether the market's bullish or bearish. This channel was made during the fucking bear market in 2018. So if that gives you any indication about how much how much we actually care about which direction this market goes, then well, I present to you no more than this over here, right? I mean, we're just sitting through all this shit saying, hey, it's probably gonna break down, but it's gonna take a long time, and it did break down over time. But holy shit, does anyone? I'm sure people will remember this back on over here who've been here for a while. There were days where there was like, not days, but there was like 4-hour dildos that had like $1 range, $10 range, shit like that. It was mind-numbingly boring. So this has actually been a rather welcomed difference over here. And because the numbers are so big now, I mean, you can have a very low time frame range of like $1,000, and that's during like a quiet period, which is rather nice. Damien Kurichaka says, hi, Krown. Hey, what's up, man? Haven't seen you here before, so good to meet you, sir. Could you check out TX? Ternium. Okay. Symbol TX. All right. This thing right here. I'm glad that you spelled it out because I wouldn't have known which one. Maybe give some possible targets. I got in at $45. So, okay. So these sort of questions I absolutely fucking hate. First and foremost, because I don't want to do your trading for you, nor should I do your trading for you, because that's also kind of illegal. Second off, I don't know why you got in. I don't know what strategy you chose. So the problem with these sorts of questions is that it promotes the wrong thing. And I'm not saying this to like talk downwards to you. It's just, this is like tough love, right? The problem with this is that when you took that trade, when you took that entry at $45, I have no idea why you did, but you need to know why you did yourself. And when you take that fucking entry at $45 or whatever price you're going to enter in at, you need to fucking know. You absolutely fucking need to know. For the love of goddamn God, you need to fucking know this. And if you don't know this, you will get wrecked over time. I can assure you of that. It is very, 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 very common. You need to know where you're going to manage risk, where are you taking profit. Both of them are equally important, as is your entry. So 3 things at the goddamn minimum. I have a video on this that runs you through a trade checklist that you can actually fill out with your own strategy, and then you can come back to it and reference things over time. But if I were to give you my targets, this thing's in a blue sky breakout. There's no real targets to be given because things in a blue sky breakout are going to do whatever the fuck they're going to do, and it's just best to kind of ride the trend in this case. But I don't know why you got into this trade. Maybe you were playing the trend. If you were, then obviously you get out on the takeout of the last the last higher low, which would be 47.5. Or at least that's what I would be doing. But for right now, you just kind of let it run, and then maybe you run off some fibs for some for some general targets, probably around $60. But for the love of God, man, really bad habit to get into, and I can assure you that in the future, while this one is being very generous with a blue sky breakout, as is everything in this market. You need to fucking have those things documented well in advance, or otherwise it's going to end in tears over the long period of time, man. And I'm saying this only with love because I've experienced that myself. It's not fucking fun at all. Anyways, I'm glad you included the winky face as well. Orgoth Don Gree says, good morning, Krown. Good morning, sir. Alice UST, short and medium term, please. Thank you in advance. Okay, let's see. Alice. Why? such interesting names in the cryptocurrency landscape. Alice, what are we looking at here? Short, medium term. Okay, so I'm going to go down to a daily. There's not a lot of history here. I'm not getting too much from this, to be honest with you, man. I think a healthy amount of I don't know is the right answer. If I'm looking at short term, it's a little bit more clear. We do have a nice consolidation going on right here. Higher lows as long as you're above 1190 or so, but it is a consolidation after all, so I wouldn't be looking for anything too spectacular. Just trade sideways probably for a few days here. Below here, bad. Above here, good. Until you get a resolution on one side or the other, I don't really have any major calls to be made on this one, nor do I think that there's... Yeah, I'm not really getting too much from this. I would have a general upside bias just because it is, it is having a change of behavior over here. Volume signature would support that as well, and we do see a bit of good things from, from our indicators that we can actually find out right here. But unfortunately, it's a little bit too young to really even give that much merit to. But I would be looking for sideways and then probably an upside resolution. Again, going to depend on the rest of the market, I imagine. Okay, Abidemic, he's back. What's up, man? S-Bin, 1 hour and daily. Okay. Let's see the rest of your message there. All right, this thingy right here, man. You're not Indian, are you? I know that you live in the U.S. So why are you trading NSE, sir? Is just I don't know. Is just out of interest. I know that's weird, but it looks like it rapidly backtesting the breakout. 5-day and weekly look potentially SFP thoughts. Okay, so the question is this like going to be a failed breakout right here? It's pretty common to retest your breakout in these, in these sorts of. Well, actually, I'm not too familiar with. I'm guessing this is like an Indian exchange. I'm not too familiar with with these stocks. It does have a nice breakout right here. I respect this one. No, I don't think it's faking out right now, man. Look at the weekly RSI. Look at everything else is not really giving me anything too obvious. But I'd be going off a weekly RSI right there, and I'd be going off of trend right here. I don't think that this one's going to fake you out until you go back down below 434. But like I said, I don't feel too confident on these ones because they probably do have different, sort of characteristics than what I'm used to. The obvious thing is below, like I said, about 433. That's where I start to actually look at this as a failed breakout and going to, come all the way back down to like $400. But based off the higher term timeframes, I'd probably give this one the benefit of the doubt. It is in a blue sky breakout after all. Although... see what this one looks like over here. Yeah, monthly still looks good. Monthly still looks okay to me. So if I had to say something, I'd still say sideways enough, but I don't feel too confident on this one, to be honest with you. What are you laughing at, sir? No, just from CT. Oh, okay. So you okay? Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting chart, yes, but it's not the most obvious one. So when it ain't too obvious, I avoid for the most part, especially if it's like something like a labor of love, which it sounds like it is. Elsa coins are going to be worth millions. Oh wow, holy shit, man! You still holding on to those? Oh, there he is. What's up, Caretaker? What's up, Alex? Good to have our beautiful mods back in here. I think Nimbo might be around too. Okay, let's see. Where did I leave off here? Gohan's mom. What's up, man? Hi, Krown. Can we look at VAC-Q, please? Okay, Vector Acquisition Corporation. All right, I thought that this was going to be a vaccine thing, but it's not. Okay, well, this is an equally as disturbing chart. In fact, I don't know what to make out of this one, man. Yeah, you probably get another pity bounce off your lows, but this looks like a pump and dump. This is what I would expect to see for crypto bullshit. So let's see. What time frames did you want to look at specifically? Where? Oh, there it is. Okay. Anytime from just trying to give Scott a run for his money. Okay, yeah. If you're trying to give Scott a run for his money, yeah, this is a pretty uninteresting and weird looking chart, man. I'd probably be looking for a bounce of this region, but do not confuse bounce with reversal. This thing is something you'd want to stay very far away from, probably. There ain't anything too obvious going on right here. Coming back down those levels is certainly not a long-term good sign, but it probably does bounce from these areas. But you obviously have lower highs here as well. It ain't fucking good. You already know that, my friend. You already know that. I think mission has been accomplished, sir. Okay, let's see. Abidemic wants to look at Snap, weekly RSI and bull zone. Let's check it out. Snapchat, huh? I remember when this one went IPO, actually. Never traded it myself, but I do remember it. There was a lot of boomers on the exchange who like, what the fuck is this? The fuck is this technology? Why does it make money? It's looking pretty damn good. It's looking pretty damn good here. Hidden bullish divergence right at the edge of the bullish control zone, back in there as well, back above the exponential on expanding volatility on basically a continuation of that breakout. Monthly looks phenomenally good. I'd be looking for new all-time highs here probably throughout the rest of this month. No reason to be bearish on this thing as long as it holds a spike low that you saw, I think, right over here on 27th of July, which is 71.83. To me, this one's looking very, very good. Daily RSI, same thing, man. Very, very nice. Very, very, very nice there. So I don't really have any targets to give on something like this. Apparently, I've charted it out before. You do have a bit of a rectangle going on right here. Again, not the most prized formation, but you can make a measure move off of it, which we can just, get a general guide of what the first target probably is. That's going to be about $88 or so. This one probably trades up to 100 if I had to guess. Sometime around end of year. Looks good. It looks good. It's a nice, pretty easy breakout right here. Actually, very easy one to play. You got all your levels marked off. About as simply as they can be. Barry Delive says, good morning, Krown. Good morning, Mr. Barry. And Elsa, oh, what the fuck? Love you guys. Love you too, sir. ERSDL on the 4 and weekly, please. All right, SRDL. This thingy. Do I have that right? Hold on. ERSDL. Sorry, ERSDL. Okay. ERSDL. There we go. Oh, it's a KuCoin derp coin. It's an unfederal reserve token. Actually, not too bad. Very easy one to play as well. I mean, if you're playing the trend here, where's your high or low? You're playing 21 and a quarter. It looks like. This is probably looking fine, man. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing approach or retest the 31st of July highs. Weekly is not enough information to go off of here. 4 hour. Actually, it's kind of losing its luster right there. Yeah, we did get some bearish divergence, but that target's already been met. It does extend down to about 22 cents. Is that going to start to call into question your daily trend here? Yeah, it will. Yeah, below 22 cents, especially on a daily closure or just a spike lower than whatever this low is right here. And I'd be looking for this one to retrace all the way down to like 19.5 or so, maybe lower than that. This would look like your next high right here. But for now, I give it the benefit of the doubt, man. Not enough history to really be super confident on this one, but give it the benefit of the doubt. It is in a bit of an uptrend for its short little life there. Abigemic says, I'm sorry, the Tata I meant to ask is for ticker TC. Oh, okay. Okay, there we go. All right, yeah. All right, let's check this out right here. It's right here. Okay, gotcha. So I believe you're talking about this one, still on an Indian exchange. Let's see. Yeah, daily's fine. I do actually like this. You have very obvious higher lows right here. And yes, I would agree. It is a triangle, actually. I would agree, sir. Something like that. A little bit more sideways to go, it looks like. Obviously below your last higher low, bad. Above your last high, good. Until then, just sideways is the name of the game. Looks like it probably wants to test down short term, back down to like 32.20 or something. Long term, pretty good. So probably do have an upside bias long term. Yeah, this is fine, man. Weekly looks good. Long term. Okay, Zeostorm says, can you check out AVAX? Okay, AVAX. And we're getting into a lot of these Vaxers here. All right. This is another crypto. It's another crypto, baby. All right, let's see what we got. Binance for all of your shitcoin needs. And we have another shitcoin that has given up its whole rally. So what do we call that? We call that a pump and dump. But is this one ready to pump again? Well, at least short term, it looks like yes. Not the strongest one on this last rally attempt. We do not see higher lows here just yet. However, you did take out the last little high right here, so it ain't too bad, but it ain't too good. I'd say it's still on the relatively weak side. I'd probably be looking for a continuation move back up to about $15.50 to $16. That's still lower highs on still lower highs on the higher term timeframes, but. Again, going to depend on whatever Bitcoin and Ethereum do, and I do suspect that they give another try to the upside, so this one probably goes for that move. 4 hour, a little bit of a short-term high right here, and actually a lower high, but it is a consolidation. We do have a golden cross, and I respect the higher lows on the short-term timeframes. In fact, this one makes it a lot easier to play right here. As long as you're above about $12.50, you give it the benefit of the doubt. Again, more in line with what we see on Bitcoin and Ethereum, but below there, I'd be looking for the rally to be coughed up. All the way back down if that happens. Mr. Legend LEZs, there he is. AMD, daily, weekly, monthly, to the moon, Mars next. Been bullish on this one for a while, not bullish on their actual fucking products though. Wow, yeah, powerful. Oh, powerful as fuck, man. Scott, you could have bought AMD. You could have done AMD, man. You didn't need to put yourself through the fucking ALYI shit hell. Oh, dear Lord, man. This one really is powerful right here. I think we had a 120 target. No, 125. Getting close there, man. So we had this first target right here. Got the short-term pullback. I'd probably be looking, I guess, 130 to 135. These are just general guidelines here. This one is just in a fucking mega breakout. So you're looking at weekly, monthly. Yeah, I'd still be bullish on these ones. If you're looking at a daily, there's going to be ebbs and flows in this. Might come back down to like 112.5 at some point, but very hard chart to hate. I mean, look at the volume. This is like picture perfect. You have a nice, and this would actually be another example of a rectangular consolidation right here. You have big volume on the breakout. Follow through is immediate to all of the short-term targets based off that, and then continuation after that. That's fucking good, man. That's about as cut and dry as you can make it right there. That's a really fucking nice one, actually. Really fucking nice one. Alrighty, let's see what else we got. Okay, we got Mr. Isaac. Can you look at XRP on the forehand? Ooh, an XRP. We got an XRPP. 72 and some odd change here. It's not having, well, it was the best of times and it was the worst of times. Look, I'd still go with the market analysis here. You have a very easy pivot on this one. As long as you're above yesterday's low, which is 69.5 cents, I do play this as a somewhat, in a very weird, bizarre sense, healthy sideways consolidation on the short-term timeframes with a high likelihood to kind of retest somewhere right around like 78 to 80 cents right here. Below yesterday's low, throw all hope out of the window. I'm looking for this one to come back down to about 60 cents, and that would look really fucking bad. That would look really fucking bad if that were to happen. But, weekly, is it following as much as the other ones? No, this one's relatively weak. But, Bitcoin and Ethereum kind of lead the party. This one should follow. Monthly is still actually okay, so I don't hate it. But you specifically asked about a 4-hour short term. Very likely does come back down to like 71 cents. I would expect it to hold the higher lows if this one does continue onwards and upwards, which I think the market will do that. So short term, yes, down. Probably back down to 71 cents. I'd look for another low to be formed there and then work its way back on up. Again, most likely led by the rest of the market, namely Ethereum and Bitcoin in this case. But the obvious trade is below yesterday's low. That's going to be very, very bad. All right, cool. Abitemic says, nope, just from TT, just hunting for nice charts. Fair enough, sir. Fair enough. I got you, man. Crypto vegan. Hey, what's up, man? I should not tell you about my dietary habits, sir. You are not going to like me, but hey, I respect your decisions as well. Please tell what you ate yesterday, says Elsa. Okay, well, I'll run you through my day today. How about that? First off, started with 400 grams of ground beef plus 3 eggs. Then I had actually 300 grams of blueberries, in fact, just so you know. Then I had 1 kilogram of salmon plus 300 grams of more beef. And today, you know what I'm going to do? Yeah, Elsa thinks it's really weird that I mix my beef and salmon together, but it's really good. It's called surf and turf, bitch. Anyways, you like that. Today I'm going to do a pound of, it's not a pound, actually a couple pounds of pork neck alongside my usual beef intake and eggs as well. Very happy about that one. By the way, my cholesterol numbers are great. In case you're wondering, they're 2x the normal reference ranges all the way around. Anyways, okay, PLA Coinbase, my entry is 109. My goal is 140, 145. Thinking a retest of highs, new listing following ACH. Okay, that's very interesting. All right, PLA, I'm guessing we need to see it like this, and it's going to be on Coinbase. And I suspect that it's probably going to have more history on Bittrex, so we should probably look at it there. Yep, and I imagine this is going to be better. Let me just double check first. PLA USD. Yeah, we got 2 days of history. So maybe we don't look at on that exchange. Maybe we look at on this one. It's gonna be a little more helpful. All right, so you entered 140 to 145. You're fucked. Wait, what? You entered 140 to 145? You must be talking about like 140 over here. You must be talking about this over here because obviously this thing's never traded above $1. Or maybe you entered like way over here. At which case, yeah, man, that's you basically look. How do I explain this? I'm gonna guess that maybe you're a little bit newer in this market, and that's completely fine. That we all start off somewhere, and I've definitely made all the fucking mistakes in the book and probably more. Buying the listing pump is usually not a good way to make money, in my experience. If you're talking about short term, maybe gives the try back up to like 130 or so. But I don't actually know where your entry is. Maybe you have like a phenomenal entry down here. Maybe you have a phenomenally terrible entry right here. Let's just double check that maybe Coinbase is not the same prices. No, okay, Coinbase prices are completely different. What the fuck? What's going on here? This is actually 114. I'm sure these are not like mini contracts. It's actually pretty good on Coinbase, short term. Short term, I'd actually be looking for this one to pop back up to 130. But other than that, man, there's no real analysis to do on something like this, man. I gotta shoot you straight because technical analysis is already very much imperfect as it is. Even when you have like 10 to 20 years of history, this thing has 2 days. So I don't think I can give you a good faith answer. If I did call it short term, probably trades back up to 130. But typically listing pumps are sell the event type of events. Nero Strutton says, bruh, Zer, do you ever trade off of head and shoulders patterns? You know what actually I like, you know what I actually do like about head and shoulders patterns is when they fail. So in this case right here, you know how like a lot of people were calling this a head and shoulders, with this being the, the head, this being the left shoulder, and this being the right shoulder. There is actually a really easy trade to be made. Not necessarily on the break of the neckline, because over here you see that it did break, but this was never a head and shoulders to begin with. I mean, the symmetry is just not right. Can criticize it in all different ways, but the failure of it is actually, in my opinion, better. I've just had better results with it. So yeah, I will trade it every once in a while, but the failure pattern essentially goes like this. If this is your right hand shoulder, you come back down to the lows, you pump off the lows, and then you take out the right shoulder, and then you actually can target around the prior highs. That is actually pretty damn works out very, very well in my experience. But playing the actual breakdown on them, they're okay in traditional markets. In Bitcoin land, I think less so. So I'll just leave it at that. You can definitely, you can trade any pattern, technically speaking, but do I do that? No, I kind of avoid most patterns. Again, the patterns that I do like are mostly triangles, actually, and specifically the ascending and descending variety. Those are the ones that I find have very good hit rates and are easily playable. For myself, and for the most part, man, I'm not a breakout trader. I mean, in fact, I almost never trade breakouts. I trade ranges, so I'm not really looking for those because those are typically like reversal breakouts. Okay, 6RA4 says insure USDT, please, sir. Okay, no time frames given, but we'll just run with it, sir. All right, did I have that right? It is insur. Okay, it's literally called insur. Okay, it's literally called insurance versus. Oh my God, this is gonna be good. On Huobi, and it's bad. But is it putting in a low here? Maybe. It's a very fucking sloppy low, I'll tell you that. Actually, we'll just leave that right here. I don't know on this one because it is just straight down chart since April. You got your obvious area to get bullish on it, right? And it's not going to be too helpful because it's very far away. It's about 235, about 235 right here above there. You can start to target big moves back up towards $4, 420 or so. Great number, of course. But for right now, the question is this thing putting in a low or not? I'm very hesitant to call a low on something that just looks like absolute dog shit, to be honest with you. And again, this is the real chart right here. This is linear scale. I don't like charts like this ever, but there's not enough history to really give this one its due diligence. Weekly looks like shit as well. I'm very hesitant to call a reversal on something that looks like this. That is an altcoin that probably barely trades. But if the rest of the market keeps it up, this thing probably will follow through. Short term, does it make another run towards 160? Probably yes, but calling any sort of big moves on that one, I think is not wise. And I don't know what time frames are going off of here. So, if it can hold the lows, then yeah, it probably does put in a bit of a pump phase. But as you can see, this thing is literally a pump and dump, and it actually doesn't really even pump all that well either. So that's a bad sign, man. That's a bad sign. But, do we see some signs of potential reversal here? Yeah, short term, yes, probably does trade back up again, somewhere around 160 to 165, and then figure it out from there. Other than that, man, I don't have any strong opinions on that one. Zeostorm says, is the Ethereum update a still the news event? I don't know. I still like the chart as far as the weekly goes. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing still, make a stab up towards 2900, of which we pretty much already hit 28. The only way that I'd start to really look at this as like a, this is a failed rally, this is a sell the event, and it's a very obvious one, is by coming back down and closing below 2500 on a daily. Even a 12-hour would do it as well. That would be like the obvious area. For right now, I respect trend right here, and we do still see that technically speaking, there are targets higher, hidden bullish divergence on the weekly. I do quite like. And next target, like I said, is somewhere around 29. So with potential for 34, if this one does have a good weekly closure. So I'd actually keep my eyes open for that. Realistically, the trade was, as we spoke about, as Josh alluded to earlier, was right around here on the confirmation of on the confirmation of bear trap, right around about $2,000. For Bitcoin, it was 32, it's more like 31. I got in at about 32.5, and then now you should be taking at least partial profits, if not decent chunk off the change, because it is an event, and like you said, a lot of the time most events are sell the event. I I still like the chart though for what it's worth. So I wouldn't just blindly fucking short this right now is what I'm trying to say. But that's just me. Of course, it's not French advice. Abigemic says, thank you for, hey man, all good, sir, all good. My pleasure, sir, my pleasure. But yeah, man, to go a little bit more deep into that Zeostorm, if I were to short this thing, if I were to sell the news, I'd want to sell it like around a major pivot. So for me, that's either 2,900 or 34 to 3,500 or so. And until we get to one of those areas, I wouldn't really be interested in even playing like a scalp position just yet. Mr. Legend LVZs is back. He says, is silver allergic to going up? It might be. I hate these stupid fucking rocks, man. But I think that gold was having a decent time. Are we still holding the long-term uptrend here? That's the real question. I believe we made this on a weekly. We did make this on a weekly. It is still holding the trend line here. And realistically, you don't even need the trend line. You just need the 55 in this case. I give it the benefit of the doubt, man. But this is why I hate these stupid fucking rocks, man. Monthly looks like it wants to sell off back down to like 21.75. I hate these stupid fucking rocks, man. I hate these rocks. If it can put in a low here, we will have a higher low and we will have hidden bullish evidence on the monthly. You should give it the benefit of the doubt. That's my rules in this case. My rules say give it the benefit of the doubt. You treat it as a higher low for right now. Hidden bullish evidence yet again on the weekly. I have to be looking for this one to probably pop back up to like 24.5, $25. But it's the same bullshit as before, right? Even if you are bullish on this one, you're not looking for a breakout anytime soon. You're looking for a breakout probably by end of this year, November, December most likely. And if it breaks up before that, it's very likely to be to the downside, and you could see big moves down, probably even below $20 by that same time frame, which would not be good. But I'd give it the benefit of the doubt in this case. Looking at it daily, we have some hidden bearish evidence right there. So next move very likely does retest this region, but you do have a nice gap right here. So I would be looking for another bounce off of $23 and then see where it comes in after that. Really need to get that bounce back above this rejective high, about $24. But for right now, I'd give it the benefit of the doubt. Like I said, just based off my personal rules and higher term time frame trends right there. Okay, Abbott says, do you puree the salmon and beef together? Do I puree? I don't know what that means, but I mix them up and then I mash them together. It's really good. It's really fucking good. And Elsa sends pictures of it and videos of it to her friends, and she thinks she's making fun of me, but little does she know. Yeah, they're jealous because they don't know how to eat fucking well. So how about that? It's child's food. It's child's food. Yeah. Hey, who's the one with the perfect diet, sir? Exactly right. Yeah, okay. Poncho says, bottom isn't in until you stop getting requests for these rancid altcoin charts. Bahaha, JK. Yeah, man. Hey, but hopefully, Poncho, Empire, man, I got to tell you, the one silver lining on this, as you know, our good friend over here, look, Doggy Coin, this thing's fucking wrecked, man. This thing's fucking wrecked. Look, no matter what Bitcoin does, no matter what Ethereum does, this thing barely joins on the upside and it gets hammered on the downside. So I think that we have a lot to look forward to, my good friend, Mr. Empire. I think we really do, actually. Still going to take some time, man, but perhaps September, we might see a little bit of interesting things going on in this one. Oh, man. I can't wait. Faraz, if you're here, you know exactly what I'm talking about, sir. You know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, we're about a $1.30 into this video right now, but rocks are bullish now. Are rocks bullish? I don't know. We could look at gold. I think gold was looking okay last time I looked at it. And then maybe we'll wrap this stream up because I am getting hungry actually talking about all this good food, sir. I can't wait to mash up some more beef with my salmons. Where is my gold? Where is my damn gold? There it is. Found it. 1810. Yeah. I mean, I actually still like this chart on the higher term time frames, and I do think that it will pop back up to 1900. But Jesus Christ, this thing would be absolute sandpaper to trade right now. I do not like it. If it does want to have a downside move this month, I'd actually really love 1750, but I do suspect upside is still more likely here. Monthly Jules lost its downside curvature. That's good. Consolidation is maturing here. As long as he goes sideways above these higher lows, I still like it. I still like it, man. Just boring as all hell for a while. I wouldn't expect it to do anything of particular interest for a little bit of time. Alrighty, sirs and zers. I think we'll wrap up Bitcoin really, really quickly, and then we'll send you off on your merry way. Short term, it does look like Bitcoin wants to maybe test back down, perhaps back down below about $39,000, anywhere between about 38.5 to the shallow end of the blue box here at $38,000 is fair game right there. But ultimately, I kind of have the same thing to say as yesterday. Sideways above this region right here, above $37,000 especially. I still look at that as more or less fine. Again, when comparing it with Ethereum, Ethereum probably does pull back here. Probably does try for a higher low, somewhere around $2,600. But I'm focused on the higher term timeframes here. Daily, as long as you're closing above 26, very, very good. As long as weekly is basically anywhere around here, I still do look at that hidden bullish divergence to have a target slightly higher, somewhere around 2,900. That's the first big pullback here I'd be looking for, and then judge kind of where we close the weekly coming into next week. That's going to be the big one and going to really drive biases. We've kind of had the easy trades, I believe, for this week. If you're looking for more, it could definitely be there, but I think right now it's a little more risky than not. Bitcoin, the obvious area for upside continuation would be a daily closure above $41,000. $41,000 would do it for me. I'd look for a retest of the 42.5 high thus far, and then very likely an extension towards 45, over the next week or so, and then very likely rejection there. So yeah, and to the downside for Bitcoin, very, very easily put. If we even just take out yesterday's low, probably going to see that actual downside move occur. So, I do remain sort of cautiously sideways and up for Bitcoin. Same thing as Ethereum, with short term, a little bit of downside implied. With that said, it's been an absolute pleasure on this lovely Thursday early morning. Thank you for joining on in. Elsa's giving you a nice wave in the background with her witch hands, and I would like to wish you well once again. Take care, and hopefully see you very soon.
Write it, code it, name it, tweet it, mine it, stack it, live it, dream it, post it, scan it, charge it, send it, do it, and receive it. Trade it, buy it, sell it, store it, run it, list it, first rename it. Crypto logic. Pump it, hack it, lose it, dump it, sell it, ditch it, fix or pitch it, copy, paste it, nudge it, test it, build it, try it, bend it, fork it, hype it, pump it, dump it, rinse, repeat, but quick relocate. Pause it, list it, send it, burn it, pump it, hack it, quick rename it, take it, lend it, send it, swell it, sell it, click, unflip it, see it, watch it, learn it, know it, post it, tweet it, and repeat it, chart it, long it, short it, hedge it, post prediction, quick erase it, watch it, leave it, watch it, leave it, check it, click it, and refresh it, find it, drop it, crack it, lose it, curse it, pay it, to it, pay it, bar it, chart it, hide it, fight it, deal it, seal it, and unlock it, back it, send it, change it, lend it, mine it, find it, how it, test it, praise it, curse it, trash it, hash it, scroll it, troll it, and upgrade it, take it, lend it, send it, swell it, sell it, click, unflip it, see it, watch it, learn it, know it, post it, tweet it, and repeat it, chart it, long it, short it, hedge it, post prediction, quick erase it, watch it, leave it, watch it, leave it, check it, click it, and refresh it, write it, code it, name it, read it, mine it, hack it, live it, dream it, post it, scan it, charge it, send it.